Hey, good morning. Welcome to the morning brief. Today is Wednesday, March 18th. What do we got going on from forexfactory.com news? Well, 8:30 this morning, we had core PPI month over month, which was higher than expected. So this means that the producer price index is going up. So that's not good. The producer price in a month over month is zero point 0.7 greater than the zero point 0.3 expected. Again, not good. Producer price index, prices for producers going up. Guaranteed inflation. Yes. 10 a.m. we have factory orders month over month and crude oil inventories at 10:30. 2 p.m. Look at that rash of red items. 2 p.m. Federal funds rate, FOMC economic projections, FOMC statement. 2:30 FOMC press conference. Yeah, all red items. Be aware. Be very, very aware. 2 p.m. and 2:30. 4 p.m. we have the tick long-term purchases, and that completes the day. So Federal Reserve, big news today. Also, again, the red PPI this morning talking about the inflation still being there. The market did not like it. So yeah, be interesting to see what the Fed says. My prediction is they do nothing. In fact, there is now a lot of discussion about if the oil shock continues, oil prices continue to be elevated, that this will cause additional inflation and the Fed may actually have to raise rates. Nobody wants to talk about that, but I think this time around they're going to be very cautious and will do nothing. We'll have to wait and see if that prediction is correct. Looking at the daily chart, so yesterday we had an update. We did close above the 200-day moving average. Again, volume is low. However, this is not a true picture because it's rollover week and half the volume is still on the March contract. It will be shifting to the June contract every day this week until the March contract expires at the close of Friday. Gapping down overnight, we'll see where that leads. So where is the basic support and resistance? On the top side resistance, I'd say 68.20 is kind of the line in the sand. We get above that, could go higher. On the bottom side, they've sort of established these lows right in here, a 66.51 area. So that's kind of the bigger picture. Short term, downtrend, medium term, sideways, long term, we're still up, but we are getting right around that 200-day moving average. Of course, below that, technically, we're not in an uptrend. However, if you look at a chart, we scrunch this up, you can still see we are still in a uptrend long term. Okay, moving on. Looking at inventory. So we've got positive price action yesterday. So that would be from here to here. And what do we have going on with the inventory? So inventory starts at 0 approximately, and it was actually negative. So we've got divergence here. We've got positive price action and negative inventory. I think we're starting to see some fear sneak into the market here. This is maybe a slow grind towards the sidelines. That's the way here's that PPI number, and there was a news brief that Iran was going to retaliate because of energy infrastructure attacks. So that's what the market did not like that either. That added to the PPI mess. It added more to it. So we are gapping down as we speak. Moving forward, looking at the intraday. So you can see here is the PPI move, right? That's the PPI move. And then this is the Iran news. So even though PPI was bad, it wasn't as bad as potential for Iran escalation. All right, so what do we got going on support resistance intraday? Well, for resistance on the top side, got a little bit of confluence around 68.13 and 68.25. Above that, it's basically on the 10. So 68.40, 68.50, 68.60. On the support side, once we get below price, 67.20, some confluence around 67.13. 6,700, of course, is the big round number. We get below that, it kind of gets ugly. There's not much down until you get to 66.80. Yes, that is the case. Stock Trader's Almanac for today, 61.9, 61.9. So a positive bias. Also, until we had this Iran, we've had a very relatively normal range overnight. So overnight range was somewhere in the neighborhood of about 35. Now it's up to 72 and advancing and getting bigger. So until the Iran escalation came out, news came out, we were actually seeing lower volatility. Well, that was very short lived. Now we are back to the 70, 80, 100 point overnight volatility action. So it is what it is. That's all I've got for you today. Hope you have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Remember to subscribe and like. Hey, thanks for watching the morning brief. Check out my website for more information, oneononetrading.com. Take a look at the Troy levels, a trade location finder for the futures markets. Help you find those levels of support and resistance that are just so hard to find. I also do personal coaching and mentorships. So go ahead and take a look at my website, oneononetrading.com.